Hi, this is Suchitra Pillai here, ready to go live with all of you guys in Chai-Wai and Manch. Well, it's been exciting for me actually to do this talk because I was asked to talk about how theatre has kind of shaped my life and got me to where I am today, which is quite interesting. Hello, Saddam. Hi there. Um, and let's get right into it. Let me talk about where it all began. Okay, now how it all began for a Malayali girl from Mumbai city. I lived here most of my life, and you know I was in a convent school in Bombay, and my first introduction to anything to do with theatre was in a play called Cinderella, where I played a mouse. Believe it or not, I was Jake, the leader of the mice. So that is what started off my career in theatre. Believe it or not, I played a mouse, and I still remember that, and I was very excited that that was my first role on stage, even though I was playing a mouse. And hello, everyone who's signing in. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to be telling you about my journey from, for those people who have just joined in, my journey all the way from, from academics to the stage, and then to the silver screen, etc. Hello, everyone who's joined in. Right, so my first role was that of a mouse in Cinderella in school. And I noticed that I totally loved, this whole thing of being on the stage, being in front of people. I had no stage fright whatsoever. I was totally okay about just being there in front of people and, doing my thing. So I knew that at that time I never had plans about being an actor or anything, but I knew that this is something that I loved. So with the result that throughout school and college, I was very much interested in dramatics and debates and elocution, all of that. And I made my Hi Shivani. I made it a point to be part of all of those teams, etc., and do the best that I could as far as that was concerned, dramatics. But when I was about 10, 12 years old, 10 years old actually, I was asked to be in Annie, the musical, which was being done in India. And it was not a semi-professional show. It was being performed in halls, etc. here. And basically, I decided to do that. And even though I was in school, etc. That's fine. Even though I was in school, I decided, it's great fun. Let's go ahead and do this. I played Pepper, the rotten orphan in Annie, and that was my introduction to कितने दिन बाद दिखे हैं आप हाँ कपिल दुबे अभी और देखेंगे आप मुझे okay, not to worry. So I played Pepper the rotten orphan in Annie. I think वहाँ से ही typecast हुआ है. I get all of these negative roles and all the things that I do because I was negative in the very first thing that I did professionally. Nevertheless, after that, when I was about 11 or 12 years old, I did another play called I Love You But. And that was singing as well as acting. And that was my introduction to acting when it came to the stage. Okay, I had sung on stage before, but as far as theatre is concerned, this is where I learned the first few nuances of what it is to be somebody who's associated with theatre. Now, throughout school and college, I did as much as I could, part of debates, elocution, all of this. But, and I became a model, when I was about 17, 18 years old. I did a lot of ads and everything. And एक play please भेजिए, okay, whenever. After I did modeling, in my final year, I joined engineering at the time, and in my final year of engineering, I got married and I moved to London. Now, that was another... How do you come to know if there are auditions for plays? Well, there are sites that you can check out, and there are also, if you go to the sites of various theatre productions companies, you can check and see whether they are having auditions or not. Places like Prithvi, etc. is a good place to find out as well. Of course, now lockdown ke beech mein, we are not allowed to go and check out what's going on. But normally they put up things for auditions and everything as well. Yeah, so coming to when I moved to London. I moved to London. मैंने शादी कर लिया था and I moved to London. Hello Dinesh. Moved to London and I decided, I didn't want to work as an engineer there. I would have had to study 2 more years. तो मैंने कहा कि क्या करें. I decided to be a hostess in a restaurant. I did that for nearly 2 years. और उसी बीच में, yes, I will come to that, Vivian. I will tell you that for sure. Let me go through the journey. Okay. So I reached. Basically, I was working in a restaurant. After that, I got the opportunity to do a few ads, etc. over there. And then one day, I got a call from a casting director because I was with this model agency over there, and she called them asking for the lead in a French film. They were looking for an Indian girl, and they said, "Oh, we've got one girl. Her name is Suchitra. We don't know whether she's an actress or whatever, but she's modeled with us, and we'll send her for the audition." So मैंने audition किया. I went and did this audition, which was a rather tough audition without any training whatsoever in acting. Frankly speaking, I have not trained at all, and whether it is in theatre or otherwise. I reached the audition, और वहाँ पे बहुत सारी लड़कियाँ थी who had already done Rada, Shada, all of this. Hello Santosh Chaudhary. Hi Neeraj. Thank you. You like Betal. Thank you. And so I went to this audition, and it was my first casting ever. Jennifer Jaffrey, who is the wife of Saeed Jaffrey, she was the casting director. Okay, and she said, I'm giving you these 2 scenes. Please do these 2 scenes, and you can sit there and read it. After 10 minutes of just reading it, I said, no, I'd like to act them out for you. Hi. So she said, are you sure? So I said, yeah. She said, how long have you been acting? And I said, no, this is my first audition. So those scenes, which are very, very tough, I did both of those scenes, and I had to end up crying and breaking down, etc., which I did very easily. And she caught me and she put me on the sofa and she said, "Okay, hi Hemant Mishra." She sat me down and she said, "Now please tell me the truth. How long have you been acting?" So I said, "This is my first audition." And she said, "Well, you know that this is what you need to be doing because you seem to be good at it." Thank you, Yoshita. Thank you very much. So basically, that's how I got my first movie, the French film called Le Prix d'une Femme. And after that, when I came back to London after shooting in Sri Lanka, Jennifer is the one who told me. She's the first person who told me that theatre is what makes an actor. Theatre is your baseline. It is your springing board from which you can do anything else as far as acting is concerned. And she said it is, especially in the UK, it is extremely, extremely important to build your body of work as far as theatre is concerned, because that is when you are taken seriously as an actor. Now, how does one, especially when I was abroad, how does one actually get into this whole theatre thing without having any idea whatsoever? So she suggested the first way to do it is to do children's theatre. So that is what I did. Now, children's theatre is very, very interesting, especially abroad, जहाँ पे आप, you do a small little script or whatever, and then the actors themselves, you carry your own set and your own script and everything. Thank you, Anupreeta. Thank you very much. And you carry the set, you carry everything, you go to one school and you perform the play, you dismantle the set, everything, put it all together, go to another school, perform the play. That is what I was doing for quite a while with a theatre group over there. And that really taught me quite a bit that theatre is not about only going on that stage and doing your part. It is about being part of everything else that is involved. Whatever is happening backstage, whatever is happening, as far as the technical things are concerned, everything. You've got to be part of everything very much in the moment. Unlike, of course, in the movies. Hi, Neeraj Parekh. In the movies where you can just go and put on your makeup and be an actor and get out of there. Theatre, you need to know exactly what's going on everywhere, even technicalities for that matter, because if you know exactly where the light is going to be falling on the stage, etc., you know how to catch that light, you know that you'll have to place yourself that way. So it's very, very important, and that is why people say theatre is so, so important for any actor to actually push. Thank you, Nasir Khan. Thank you very much. To actually push yourself and push your boundaries, you have to start there. Today, after 26 years in the industry, I still will very confidently say I get the biggest adrenaline rush when I'm on that stage and performing a play. More than watching myself on screen or on the small screen or whatever. It is when you have those butterflies. Thank you, Neha Thakur. Thank you very much. you know, you have those butterflies in the stomach just before you start, just before you go on to stage. That is incomparable to anything else, and that you get only when you're doing theatre. Going back to England, so I started doing that. I started doing children's theatre. After that, I got the opportunity to do one or two plays. One with Mahesh Tatani, which he had written, called "Bravely Fought the Queen," which he directed in England. Okay, now the connection of that story is also very strange. But anyway, I did Bravely Fought the Queen with Mahesh and another director directing it in England. There's a photograph from that play, and I'm actually on the cover of Mahesh Tatani's book of plays with that photo from Bravely Fought the Queen. You will see my face on the cover of those books that came from there. Have I worked with Kunal Vijayakar? No, but I know him. I know him personally, yes. Basically, yeah, so where was I? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Nevertheless, so I went. I did the children's theatre, and after children's theatre, I did a lot of radio drama. Radio drama is also very, very famous in England. Yeah, I did, as I said, Bravely Fought the Queen, and then radio drama. Radio drama there, for the BBC, Radio 4, I did the Ramayan, which is another form of theatre. Okay, radio drama is, okay, you don't have an audience in front of you, the audience is listening to you, but it is theatre. It's how you perform theatre. Tushar is that's the best preparation in TV film. Yes, exactly, Tushar. I totally agree with you. No, that's okay, Vivian. It's all right. I'm trying to read as many comments as I can while I'm talking to you guys. So I hope if I miss some of them out, I apologize. Nevertheless, as I said, I did radio drama. Radio drama is something that has not really been tapped over here. And it is a distinct form of theatre in the UK. Okay, and what I must tell you about this really, really interesting project called the Ramayan, which I did. Shashi Kapoor was the narrator. Nitish Bharadwaj played Ram. I was Sita. There were so many other actors from the UK who played all of the other parts. And what was really interesting about radio drama is that, you're not wearing costume or anything. Everybody is in one huge big studio in the BBC. Yeah, and you would just wear things like necklaces, etc. Because if you're Sita, you know that you would be wearing gungroos and necklaces. So I'd be wearing jeans, but I'd be wearing all of these things which make noise, which can be caught by the mics. So very, very interesting form of, a very, very interesting form of theatre, which really, really taught me a lot. It taught me the fact that even if your face is not visible on a stage, yeah, your voice can throw so much to people, can give so much to people and give them that same experience. And that is also another form of theatre. Okay, when people are not watching you, but they're only listening to you, that's another very, very important form of theatre. And if you can get that right, that's another big feather in your cap, because half your battle is won. Then if you can tell a story without people seeing your face and your expressions, and it just comes through your voice, that is another big plus point. Radio drama is amazing. Yes, Tushar. Yes, absolutely. Audience can use that imagination, and it's up to the actors themselves to create that whole scene for them, so that you go into that whole space, so that you can visualize that whole space, Thank you, Preeti. Thank you very much. Right. So I did the Ramayan, and I did lots of stuff with the Tamasha Theatre Company over there, also in radio drama. And I did plays like Bravely Fought the Queen. But one other big theatre job that I did, apart from the fact that there's no scope for a retake. Yes, exactly, Payal. No retakes at all. It is just one shot. You stand there, you do it. You are either good or you're not good. And people will either clap or they'll boo you off the stage. So it is your one shot at doing it. That's unique about theatre. And that's what gives you those butterflies in the stomach, That's what makes you really want to be on that stage, Coming back to this. So... so I did a lot of radio drama, but one really interesting thing I did in theatre was to play a part in Jungle Book. Actually, I played many, many parts in Jungle Book. This was for the Redgrave Theatre in Farnham, which was in Surrey. Okay, I was very, very lucky to have gone and got this audition and gone and, got selected for it. And I got to play many roles. I got to play Raksha the wolf, who takes care of Mowgli in the jungle. I got to play Mowgli's mother in the village. I got to play a bad wolf at the end. And I also got to play the Queen of Cobras. This is another version. It's like Ka, but this is another version of Rudyard Kipling's story. So I got to play Queen of Cobras. Thank you, Ritu. You can watch it again from June 6th. Good to see you, and your work is great in Veda. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, what was interesting when I was doing this was the fact that you had to switch between roles and switch between costumes, and you had to play a wolf. And there in England, it's just amazing. I had not had any training, but just before this, they gave us a few workshops where they taught you how to be like an animal, how to be, if you were a snake, how would you behave? If you were a wolf, how would you behave? If you were a monkey, how would you behave? And that is so, so interesting. It's not something that you think about every day as an actor sitting here in Bombay, or in Bollywood. It's not something like that. But it was very, very interesting for me, especially to learn all of that. And I had to sing. And the costumes were so beautiful because we had like wolf costume. It was a wolf head which you had to wear up to here. So all you could see was, the head of the wolf when you when you bent your head down like this. And you could see the mouth. So you could sing clearly without any problem. But audience was seeing the wolf. It was beautifully done. Really, really beautifully done. Tushar, oh, you did oral interpretation of literature. Yes, absolutely, of course. Techniques used in radio plays, absolutely, of course. Most interesting. I mean, really, I had a blast doing radio drama in the UK, really. So, so Jungle Book was interesting because it was a musical, and there was a lot of acting, there was a lot of movement. And as I said, I played this Queen of Cobras. That was incredible because there was this, it's a 360-degree stage. We had, it was broken up in 3 parts. And too much hissing pronunciations. Sorry. Yeah. Vivian, what is that about, sweetie? Are you getting a hiss sound when I'm talking? Or I didn't understand that comment. Nevertheless, basically, sorry, 1 second. Go on. Sorry, my cat just came in. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Chaya Joshi. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear that when you're turning 50. I am turning 50 this year. Nevertheless, so Jungle Book was a very, very interesting opportunity for me to learn, animal acting, how to be an animal, etc. Now, that was my theatre stuff over there. I came back, my Cobra character, yes, absolutely, yes, the hissing, that's what you were talking about. Vijay Shukla, why are you saying no? No what? So I came back anyway. How's my lockdown going? Oh God, don't ask. Really, yaar. Sab pag gaye hain, yaar. Lockdown ke saath I'm not any different. Bahut ho gaya, yaar, lockdown. What is the favorite genre of plays that I like to do? Comedy, drama, or horror? No, I like to do drama and I like to do comedy. Both those, yeah, definitely. Horror, I leave for the screen. Hello, Anant. Hi there. Good to see you here. Anant Mahadevan. I hope all of you are going to go and buy his book. The e-book is out and the regular book is out as well. So please go and buy his book. Check it out on his site. So basically, as I was saying, so I was very, very excited about playing, those characters in Jungle Book in Surrey at the Farnham Theatre. Thank you, Mohit. And came back to India in 1997. Okay. And came back, I was getting divorced and I came back. Came back here and one was kind of wondering what to do with one's life. I was going through a separation. I came back here and I was like, okay, what should I do? Still trying to figure it out and how I can make a name for myself, without stepping on anybody's toes, making my parents feel proud of me because they were so upset that, I was getting divorced, etc. And the first opportunity that came up for me was theatre, thanks to Lilette Dubé. Now, Queen of Cobras. Vivian, you want to know more about the Queen of Cobras? Okay, let me go back to that then for a second. What was interesting about that part, okay, radio drama or on stage theatre? Challenging, Juhi, I would say on stage. Yeah, definitely on stage because radio drama also you can have retakes. Yeah, you see, on stage, no retakes. Okay, coming back to the Queen of Cobras quickly for you, Vivian. Basically, I had to wear full black. You could only see my eyes and you could only see my lips, which were painted fluorescent. Okay, it was full black. And the whole set was in 3D light, in UV lighting. Okay, so only the things that were painted fluorescent you could see. I had a 16-foot snake made of hula hoops attached to the back of me. So I had to learn how to do movement with that snake attached to me, 16 feet of it behind me, in different sizes of hula hoops, and they had made the snake that way so that if you did one movement, the whole snake would move, like that. It was amazing, and there was this whole action dance come, kind of an action sequence between me and Mowgli in the cave where the Queen of Cobras lives, which was phenomenal. It was just something else, and it was something like unlike I'd ever experienced before. So when I actually saw what it looked like to the audience, it was just mind blowing. In that UV light and actually doing that whole dance with just jewels and a chest of gold, etc., and all of that. It was just one of the most fantastic sequences that I've been part of. Coming back now, let's jump back. Yes, Vivian, I know. Oh my God, it was beautiful. No doubt, beautiful. Wonderful experience. Came back to India, as I said, in 1997, and the first opportunity I got, thanks to Uma Dikuna, the casting director, and Lilette Dubé, thank God for her, was Dance Like a Man. A play that, I'm so proud to say, did I sprain myself? No. I'm so proud to say I'm still very much part of Dance Like a Man, even today. Hello, Rahul. 22 years later, over 650 shows across the world. Yes, that is the truth. 22 years I've been part of the play. The same 4 people. Anant Mahadevan, who's watching now, has joined us last year. Otherwise, it was the same 4 actors playing the same parts for 22 years, over 650 shows. And Anant, I'm really happy to have Anant on as part of the cast now. And we have a blast when we're doing the play. And what it is about the writing, and that's why we still want to do it 22 years later. Hello, Hussain. Thank you, Hussain. 22 years later, why do you still want to do a piece of theatre? You want to do it because of the writing. You want to do it because of the way it's been presented. You want to do it because of the way the director has envisioned this play, which has been done by so many other directors, but the way she has done it is just phenomenal. I get to play. I would still say after my 26-year career, 22 of which I've been doing this play, I would have to say that this is one of my best pieces of work still. For all of you, yeah, that's quite an achievement. It really is. So, hi Gaurav Chain. So, for those who haven't seen Dance Like a Man, whenever it does come back, I would really, really love you to see it, because it is one of my best pieces of work, and it's something that I will cherish for the rest of my life, doing this. A play, 2 roles, a double role that I play, the mother and the daughter. And it's a play that's won many, many awards, and people have really, really appreciated it, from Auckland, New Zealand to the other end of the world, in America. So we've had the opportunity to travel with that play. So that was the first thing that I got when I came to Bombay. Okay. And I was very nervous. And then coincidentally, it happened that it was Mahesh Tatani's play. And Mahesh had no clue that I was being chosen by Lilette Dubé to play this role. And when he came to Bombay and he met me, he was like, oh my God, you're the same girl who's on my book of plays. And you're the same girl I directed in Bravely Fought the Queen. I just did Dance Like a Man in Ahmedabad for Coconut. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Personal preference, traditional, proscenium set, arena stage, or theatre in the round. Why is that? What is most challenging? Personal preference. I like, frankly, as an actor, I like to perform anywhere. I like to perform, period. Okay? But when you're trying to push the boundaries a little bit, and you really, whether you have to throw your voice without using mics, etc., that's what makes it more interesting, which is why performing in different types of venues is even better than just being in a regular traditional proscenium set, Hello, Dolly Aluwalia. What is most challenging as an actor? If you were talking in terms of the sets, then definitely an outdoor space. When you don't have anything to bounce your voice off, then definitely an outdoor space where you don't know, whether the person over there can hear you or not, be it with a mic or without mics, lapelled or not, which I hate. Frankly speaking, I hate lapel mics when it comes to theatre. Use your voice, I really, really think that's very, very important. Nowadays, I'm less active on Instagram. Baba, Rishikesh, I'm very active thanks to Betal and Kenny ko Humsafar hai. So I'm definitely very, very active on Instagram. Rahul, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Hi, Rene Fernandez. At the moment, I don't know of any online theatre workshops going on, but Coconut Theatre might be able to tell you. They might be able to put you in touch. I haven't really been. I've really been hectic with my Netflix and all Balaji stuff that's going on. Okay, so coming back to my journey. nevertheless, so I started doing Dance Like a Man, and then I became part of primetime theatre, and it after that it's just been one play after another, and I was doing. I did a lot of plays with Lilette. I still am in about 3 or 4 of them. Augustus H. County, Bravely Fought the Queen, Breathe In, Breathe Out. Um, so many of them. Wedding Album. So many of them, and I love, and I always made the time for theatre, despite movies coming in, despite the TV serials coming in. It's something that really gives you the biggest buzz as an actor, and I don't want to lose that ever as an actor. It's something that keeps you really, yeah, Binaifa, it's your all-time favorite, I know. um, yeah, so it just keeps me going. It's one of those, theatre is what really makes me feel alive. Yeah, which is why we make the time for it. A good actor will make the time for theatre, no matter what the fame, no matter what the money, no matter what the popularity you get from all the other mediums. A good actor, you will make the time for theatre, no doubt about it. I wish I could give more time to it, no doubt. I really wish. And Sheena have a love interest. Yes, she does, Ritu. Wait and watch. um, will I basically it is something that I wouldn't give up for the world. Doing something or the other as far as theatre is concerned. It's something that I wouldn't give up for the world. Coming back to, yeah, so I did a lot of stuff with Primetime Theatre Company. I also worked with Rage Productions. I also worked with Ashwin Gidwani Productions. And it's been interesting to see how different people, different theatre groups, how they all work, how they all operate, what is their modus operandi as far as, working is concerned. So my episode of 24. How does it feel like working with Anil Kapoor? Oh, it was great. I felt like a millionaire, as Anil Kapoor would say. Yeah. Have you done any regional play in any other language other than English and Hindi? No, only English and Hindi, sweetie. I haven't attempted anything else other than English and Hindi. Just one movie in Malayalam, but not on the stage yet. Who knows? There's still time, yaar. I'm only 50 this year. There's lots of time, isn't there? Nevertheless, so yeah, so I've worked with a lot of production companies here, a lot of theatre companies here, who have given me different things, different things to play and different roles to play, which I've all, lapped up, because that's what any actor wants to do. And in amongst all of this, came a phone call. This is for whoever was asking the question. In amongst all of this, yes, sorry, Barfia, I know I couldn't do. Yeah, I'm just coming to that, Rahul Pathak. Amir Khan, I did work with Amir Khan, and that's exactly what I was going to start the story about. Basically, while I was doing all of this theatre and a few TV serials, etc., Farhan Akhtar gives me a call one day, and he's a friend of mine, who I knew before he decided to be an actor or a director or anything. And he called one day and he said, Suchi, I've written this film, yaar, about, me and my friends, etc., and there's a role in it. I want you to play it. And I was like, oh, really? You want me to play it? Means what? So he says, no, there's a role of this girl called Priya, and I just want you to play this role. So I said, okay. And I said, oh, who is it opposite? And he said, Saif Ali Khan. And I said, what? Saif Ali Khan? And he said, yeah. He said, do one thing, just come to the office. Yes, dil chahta hai. Come to the office. And I went to the office, and there was Saif Ali Khan sitting with Farhan. And he said, oh, I just wanted to see how the two of you look together. And because, you're playing opposite each other. And, Acha, why don't you both just stand up and why don't you both start jogging on the spot? Because there's a jogging scene on the beach. That's what Farhan made us do. And that's what got me the role in Dil Chahta Hai. Because he had kind of decided that Priya was me. It is a movie that I will never forget. It is something that has stood me in good stead all of these years. People, despite no matter what I have done in my 26-year career, people remember me as the Dil Chahta Hai girl, the one who slapped Saif Ali Khan. What is my native place? It is Kerala. It is Trivandrum. So that is the movie I did with Amir Khan, for who was asking. It was a fantastic experience. Amir, Akshay Kumar, Saif, Preeti Zinta, Dimple Kapadia. I mean, it was just the most phenomenal project to be part of. A path-changing movie as far as Bollywood was concerned. And after that, one thing after another, there have been so many films that I've done. After that, with Madhur Bhandarkar, 3 movies with Madhur Bhandarkar. Yes, Rahul Pathak, God's Own Country. I've worked with Pradeep Sarkar. I've worked with Rajat Kapoor. I've worked with oh God, so many directors. So it's been a great life. It's been very very interesting for me. It's been something that I was not, as I said, was not planned to go in this direction, but things have just happened. Um, Barf, we missed you in Kuwait. Yeah, well, I wish I was part of Barf, but I wasn't. Anyway, um, yeah, so that movie was great to be part of. Doing all of the other parts that I have has also been fabulous. When it comes to film, it is another medium. It's something that everybody craves to be part of, and I've been really really lucky. I feel blessed that I'm doing what I love and I get the opportunities to do what I love. But coming back to what we're here for today, it is theater that really gets my adrenaline going. Let me tell you a few stories, because you say the show must go on. This is like a few stories that I don't really that I don't a lot of people don't really know about how the show must go on. So basically, let me tell you, this is during Dance Like a Man. Now there's a very very intense scene at the end of the play. We were performing in Bangalore, if I'm not mistaken, many years ago, and yeah. At the end of this climax scene, basically I've broken down and I'm crying, and we have to go off the stage after I've broken down, and then come back in time to do the dance at the end of the play. Okay, so at one time here, one big mistake that I made that day as an actor, one very big mistake I made was not to check the wings before the play started. You go and you check your whole, you do a walkthrough of your set and of the stage, which I didn't do. And see, this is what happened to me at the end of it. So I didn't know the placement of the wings, etc., and I walked straight into the wing, hit my head straight into it, and I knew that I had to go back onto stage soon after. This is not was it a real set? It was a set. It was a set in Famous Studios. Thank you, Salam Khan. Yeah, so that was one incident, but one worse than that was also again with Lilette Dubé when we were doing Wedding Album, the play. There's a scene where between scene one and scene two, I have to quickly rush off, quickly change into a kurta, and come back on, in less than 30 seconds. Okay. Again, similarly over here, in the darkness, what happened is I rushed off the stage and slammed straight into a concrete wing which was there, and my nose, I have a little bit of a hairline fracture over here, which I never got done. But yeah, I banged into that, and I was just completely stunned, knowing that within 30 seconds I had to be back on stage. This is when they say, how can I slap Saif Ali Khan? Well, with the direction of Farhan Akhtar, that's how you can slap Saif Ali Khan, because he stood there and said, slap him for real. I slapped him 3 times. What to do? Had to. In fact, his wife told me that time Amrita was married to him, and she told me, I remember her telling me that next time we have a fight, I'm calling you to give him a slap. So it was a good slap. And when I met his mom, Sharmila Tagore, about a couple of years ago, literally, I said, oh, I'm the girl who slapped your son. She said, I hope it was a tight slap. So, yeah, that slap is remembered by a lot of people. Yeah, so coming back to this incident in theatre, I rushed off the stage, I go and I hit my nose straight on the concrete, and I was just stunned, and I know I have to go and I have to change my kurta, and my co-actress Deepika Amin comes, and she's just looking at my face, and she said, oh my God, Suchi. I said, why, what happened? And there was blood running down my nose. Okay, and I had to run on because the music had already started for the next scene. So I just said, get me tissue and just get ice from somewhere and get it to the other side of the wing. So I got tissue, and I was not supposed to have a cold in this scene, but that's what I pretended to do in this scene, in all of this scene, where because my nose was bleeding and I had to do this. So I pretended to sneeze, and I pretended as if I had a cold suddenly, because it was a few days later in the play. And so all the actors were suddenly wondering, what is she doing? Yeah. And then when it came to a point where Lilette actually sits down and I had to show her something, she saw this tissue with blood in my hand. And she just looked up at me, and I just kind of just nodded to her, and I said, don't worry, it's okay. That kind of thing gave her that assurance that it was okay. So it's about show must go on. It's about how you have to just, just go out there and do what you got to do when it comes to theater, because there are no retakes. There are no second chances, unless of course it's, life threatening and you have to stop it. You have to stop the play. Yes. But otherwise, yes, the show must go on. Right. So, I was talking about how, so Lilette looks at me. I mean, I told you there was blood on my hand, and she looked at me and I was just like, no, don't worry. We'll get through this. And I actually did the whole play changing things around, running off, into the kitchen direction, putting ice on my nose, coming back, in between, and taking a few exits which I was not meant to take during the play. But that's what you have to do. You have to have the presence of mind. In theater, you have to have the presence of mind to be able to make a success of whatever it is you're doing on that stage. So no matter what it is, you're thrown in there at the deep end, you have to know what you can do. And that's what really makes you get ready for everything else in life, frankly speaking. When it comes to theater, and how hard it makes you and how tough it makes you about dealing with things on the spot. Oh, I must tell you about another thing also, again, which happened with Lilette and Shanaz Patel. Any actor who has done theater will be able to tell you that there are points where everybody goes blank. Okay? The best actors sometimes go blank on stage, and you cannot help it. You just cannot help it. Sometimes you just forget everything and you do go completely blank. This particular play called Breathe In, Breathe Out, which Shanaz Patel, me, and Lilette Dubey were part of. We played 3 generations of the same character. There was this one line in the play where I would always blank out. I don't know why. It was just one of those things. I would just always blank out. And it was really... we were performing in Prithvi Theatre. Sorry, guys, I'm just going... Yeah, I'm back again. Yeah, sorry, people were calling. So where was I? Talking about the fact that when you're so used to doing things on the spot. So this play, right, with Shanaz Patel. So this one particular line, I would always get stuck. Okay, always, somehow or the other. There were very few shows that I never got stuck in that line. And it's about presence of mind of your co-actors. That's another huge big thing when it comes to theatre. You're so dependent on your co-actors and what they can do for you on that stage. You guys are still here, right? You can. I can't see any more comments. That's why I'm just wondering. You're still here, right? Okay. Imran. Hi, Imran. Right, so... basically, at that point, I would always look at Shanaz and I would have this blank expression on my face, and she knew that I was forgetting the line, and I would look at her and just stare at her with those big eyes, and she knew that she had to give me some sort of cue which would bring me back. So that the point I'm trying to make here is that when it comes to theatre, disconnected a bit, we'll watch later, so thank you. Basically, when it comes to theatre, you're very much dependent on your co-actors, the people around you and the people who are on that stage with you, and what they can do to make or break you as an actor, frankly. And that's what makes it really, really interesting. And when you're doing like Dance Like a Man, when you're doing this play for like 22 years, your co-actors inside out. You know exactly what they're thinking, you know what mood they are in on that particular day, and where you might need to help them through when they're doing the play, etc. So it's very, very interesting, and it's something that I would not give up for the world. Now, I have been part of all sorts of mediums, okay? I've been part of theatre, television, film, web series. I've been a radio jockey. I'm a compere. I sing. I have a band. I sing. I do all sorts of things. I write. So there's... it's just... People say, why, Suchi, why so many things? And I say, why not so many things? We have one life, and why not fill it in with whatever we can fill it in? So that's what we should be doing. And which is why I do all of the things that I do. And I have a God-given talent. Thank God that I'm getting the opportunities to do whatever, to do whatever I love. So I need to be very, very grateful for everything that I get, and that everything that I do. So I'm... But one thing as an actor that I would suggest to anyone who is watching, I would just have to say, guys, theater, for sure, any form of it, any form of it, just make sure that that is part of your repertoire. Don't just say I want to be an actor on TV, and don't just say I want to be an actor in film or whatever. Just do, because you are, actually appreciated a hell of a lot more, even abroad or anywhere else, if you say that you're a theater actor, because they know how tough it is. People know how tough it is to be. Love, why not? Yeah, why not? Exactly. Um, so it's something that I would advise to anybody who's starting out. Let that be your base. Let that be your bouncing board into the world of film or television or web series or whatever. Right now, I'm part of 2 web series, which is, well, Betal just released on Netflix. Kehne Ko Hum Safar Hai season 3 releases on Alt Balaji and C5. I'm doing that too. I'm doing this. I'm doing film. I'm doing all sorts of things. I did a Hollywood film called The Valley, which I don't know if you can see it. Please do. Love your work a lot. Thank you, Charu. Thank you so much. Tell us about the play which you did that is only for adults. That one, Scent of a Man. Scent of a Man it was only for adults. Don't make it sound as if to say it was some sort of play which had all sorts of dubious things. No, nothing like that. It didn't have sex on stage or anything for that matter. But what it did have was a lot of sexual innuendos and a lot of double meaning sentences, etc. in it. But yeah, Scent of a Man was a play for Ashwin Gidwani Productions that me, Bhavna Pani, Ash Chandler, and Deven Khote were in that play, and it was just a whole cacophony of what goes on when two couples who have had something to do with each other crisscross. They all meet in one place one night. Ashwin Mushran has played Ash Chandler's part in quite of the last few shows, but that's another very, very interesting play, and it's comedy, and I love comedy. So after Dance Like a Man, which was drama, it was Scent of a Man, which is comedy. Thank you so much, Charu. So so I would just say, coming back to the point of how important, basically, to start your journey off in theatre is to start your journey right in this industry. Frankly, I would advise anybody who is starting out to be part of even a small theatre group, to do something that puts you on stage, because it teaches you voice, it teaches you voice control. Thank you very much, Saddam. It teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you how to be on the spot, on how to be on the ball, do what you got to do in that very minute. It makes you tougher. Being on stage, being a theatre actor definitely makes you tougher, and allows you to deal with a hell of a lot that comes with this profession, whether it is for television or whether it is for film or web series or anything else for that matter. I, for one, I'm very, very very, very happy with the way that my career went. Most recently, speaking of not of theatre, as I said, I did 2 Hollywood films. One is a horror film for 20th Century Fox called The Other Side of the Door. You can check that out. And then there's The Valley, which is a very emotional film dealing with teenage suicide. I did that. So I have been part of stuff abroad, and I have performed on stages abroad, and there is still one hell of a lot more for me to do, which I'm really looking forward to. But in amongst all of this, I am going to make sure that theatre is definitely part of my journey, the journey that continues, even though I'm turning 50 this year. What is 50? It's just a number. And in the world of an actor, it's just a number that's adding some more maturity to yourself and just adding some more experience to yourself. And the only way is ahead and forward. As for any other actor, you look forward to, you just think, whenever you think that you've done the best that you can, there's always something else that comes up, and I'm waiting for that. That's what I'm definitely waiting for, and it is something that keeps me going. It's something that teaches me that as an actor, you cannot be satisfied, you cannot be content. You want to push the boundaries, and you want to do a hell of a lot more, always. And that's what makes it all interesting. Well, as far as what's going on right now in my life, as I said, Betal on Netflix, that's happening. There's Kehne Ko Hum Safar Hai on season 3 on Alt Balaji and Z5, which will start on June 6th. There is also my music album called The History of Rock and Roll. It's an English rock album that will be coming out soon. There's that. There is 50 is the new 15. Yes, Renee, I totally believe that 50 is just a number. I feel 15, so it's okay. Theatre-wise, I'm still doing wedding albums, still doing August Osage County, which is also another amazing play. I'm still doing Dance Like a Man, and there will be a new one coming up with Lilette Dubé, which I can't talk about, but there will be something very interesting which I'm going to do again with her. Other than that, I'm just waiting to see what else I can do with my life. I mean, given the lockdown and given the scenario that all of us are stuck in, one does the best one can, and we have to see what we can do. But keeping in touch with, what else is going on, doing things online like this, is all part and parcel of the job, and it's what keeps all of us going. Flash in the Valley, your work is different. And thank you so much, Charu. Thank you very much. Yes, I have had, frankly speaking, now that you mention it, I've had the opportunity to do very different kind of roles, Yes, in the TV serials, I've been typecast as the bad mother-in-law and the bad aunt and the negative character. But there is also, and even my musical, Sing India Sing, that I did, which is also another part of theatre I must talk about. I mean, musical is just absolutely fabulous. After doing Jungle Book in England, to get the opportunity to do Sing India Sing in India was just phenomenal. Directed by Nadir Khan, put together by Orange Juice Entertainment. It was just phenomenal. 29 songs, brand new, original songs, which we were singing, performing, everything live. That's another huge big thing. When you're doing a musical, it's all there on the spot. Every single song was absolutely live. You need to have the stamina, you need to have the training, you need to really train, which we did for about 7 to 9 months before we started. So it's commitment. When it comes to any form of theatre, it's a lot of commitment. You have to be ready for that. But it really does stand you in good stead. Oh, Tushar, thank you so much. Means a lot. Thank you. Rishikesh Gaikwad. Yes, what have you asked, sweetie? You say answer, please. I don't know what question you asked. Thank you, Tushar. Yeah, positive attitude is another big thing that gets you through, okay? Especially in this business, you need to have a positive attitude. Otherwise, you'll be sitting like this every day, frankly speaking, because it can really get you down. It's a very insecure business. You have to wake up every morning and know that it is good evening, Preetham. It is an insecure business, and you have to do the best that you can and be thankful for all the work that comes to you. But you guys, if you get an opportunity to watch any of the plays that I'm in, I would be very, very happy and grateful for you to come in and check it out, because that is Suchitra in another avatar altogether. It is something that I cherish, and I always will cherish. My biggest compliment as an actor, I would have to tell you, is something that I got on thanks to a play. Not for anything else. There was a journalist in the UK who had seen me in a lot of work, and she came to see Dance Like a Man. And the first thing that she told me when I was off stage is like, Suchitra, I've just got to tell you one thing. Not for even a second did I see Suchitra Pillai on stage when I was watching Dance Like a Man. I saw Ratna and I saw Lata. And that is the biggest compliment that you can get from anybody, to not have you as you at all on that stage and they don't see you at all. That is what being an actor is all about. No, Rishikesh, I have uploaded a hell of a lot of things, not on Facebook so much. If you check Instagram, Suchi Pillai, you will see. Stories on Facebook. If there would be no villains, where would the heroes be? Also true, it's good to be bad, Renee. That's what I say. It's very good to be bad. So I don't mind playing the negative character as and when I'm given it. My poor daughter, she comes to the set and she goes to every director and she says, is my mother playing a bad person in this one also? We have a good laugh about it, but what to do? That's what they mean when they say typecast. But I enjoy it. It is work at the end of the day. It is work. It is something I cherish. It is something I totally love. doing my acting, and I think it shows. That's what and that's where I think it makes it all worthwhile. Am I planning to do any play in Pune after lockdown? Sweetie, Charu, most definitely. I'm sure that we will, because we generally do come to Pune whenever we do a new play, but nothing immediately is planned. Nobody can make any plans when it comes to anything to do with a group situation now. But after lockdown, yes, all going well, I will be there. So, guys, I think I'm gonna wind up now. I hope this was informative for you. And I hope it was interesting for you to listen to, well, parts of my story at least, to where I've TikTok versus YouTube. YouTube I prefer. YouTube, I think, for sure. I don't. I'm not a TikTok fan. I don't intend to be. Too bad many directors typecast you. That makes it easy. Yes, I know. What can I do? They typecast me, but I'm waiting for more and more different roles that will come up to me, and till then I will do the best that I can with whatever is given to me. So that's kind of rounds up my kind of talk with you guys for today. I would be more than happy if there is any help that I can give you guys.